What the hell? Seriously, what the hell was going on there? I'm not saying that Urban Meyer needs to be working in the mail room at Woody Hayes Center, sorting out the boxes and looking for things like lifters, suspenders, harnesses. But damn, man, how do you not know that all of that's going on? Literally right under your nose. Again, order sex toys to your office. That might not be a fireable offense unto itself, but where does allegedly having sex with a team staffer in the same football offices fall on that spectrum? And then where does photographing your junk at the White House fall? Dumbest thing ever. Dumbest thing ever by the alleged smartest guy ever. Because right now I'm having a hard time figuring out what justification he had for coaching. Hell, I'm not even sure this guy had time to coach. What with all the mail he was getting? What with all the pics he was taking? Yeah, I'm not even looking for answers from Zach Smith. I mean, this guy was a dirtbag. I don't need answers from him. I do need answers from Herb. Anybody want to weigh in on this? Better question. I know you want to weigh in on this. Can you weigh in on this responsibly? I put the question to you, Adam Hawk. That's a big stack of paper right there. If you were me, would you read any of it? Or would you read any of it on air? Especially given who brought it to me and screened it. Hey, Hawk, you might not be fat anymore, but you're still pretty dumb. Let's find out. Hey, Jim, what do you mean, handle it in a sensitive manner? A toy is a toy. Signed, Zach Smith. Mike in Buffalo, helping him. A toy is a toy. And a sex toy is a sex toy. And this guy had them delivered to the office. What the hell is that? Yeah, but Rome, he wasn't using them with his wife. He couldn't have them delivered to his house. Fine. P.O. box. Something other than the Woody Hayes athletic complex. I'm sure Woody would be very proud. Hey, again, I don't know. We have no idea what goes on. Quote, we don't really know any of these guys. I feel pretty safe in assuming that Woody Hayes never hit up Amazon for sex toys. I feel pretty safe in assuming that Woody Hayes never hit up Amazon for harnesses or suspenders. I feel pretty safe in saying that Woody Hayes never turned his iPhone on his junk. Hey, Rome, the investigation was about to be complete until a large quantity of, quote, rubadongas showed up at the practice facility. They were addressed to not Z. Smith. And needless to say, we are still investigating who these could possibly be. For yours, The Ohio State University, Aaron in Omaha. This email just says, well, here comes another heart attack for Herb. Matt in Tucson. Isn't that true too? Had to step away from the game. Had to step away from the game to do what's best for myself, my well-being, and my family. Ohio, yes! Ohio State, yes! Hey, Herb, this is Ohio, yes! What about your heart? What about it? Johnny Scab tweets, Jimmy, age appropriate? Brad won the smack off with a picture of a dude on his package. Fair. I'll allow that. Fair point. And PJ in the Mile High tweets, damn, that dude tooting blow on camera at the Dolphins facility thinks that this dude is out of line. Right. Sex toys delivered to work. Man, you are either really reckless, really out of control, or really stupid.
Hey, babe, miss you, thinking about you. How about me going to a meeting and doing this before I go? There's those big rains falling, but I miss you. I miss you a lot. What do you think? Crazy?
You know what that was? That was former Dolphins assistant Chris Forrester tooting up copious amounts of cocaine and sending a video to some woman that he met in Vegas or knew from Vegas, a stripper or a stripper or a prostitute or something like that. If I were to play that sound, name this sound. Do you think you could get that? I guess an assistant coach in the NFL snorting copious amounts of cocaine. I guess an assistant coach in the NFL tooting up the Bolivian marching powder right before an important staff meeting. Man, I'm good at this game. And sending the video. How far gone must you be to turn the phone on yourself while doing something criminal at work and then sending it to somebody else? Hey, Rome, do you know if Zach Smith would point out women in the crowd and take them under the bleachers to have sex at halftime? Signed, Duff McKagan. Stephen PHX wore Iray using a Copenhagen tin as a pocket watch. Hey, Steve. Actually, I don't think that was Duff. I think that was Sammy Hagar. On Milton, how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
What's going on? What's on your mind? Go ahead, Milton. You're on the air.
Oh, well, I asked about that. All those sex toys that guy ordered. Who cares anyway? And I was like, so? And the screener asked me, well, I used to work at Walmart, and so he said, if somebody brings something like that in the break room, do you care? I said, no. Why should I care? Big deal. What you do, your own house or whatever, good for you. Enjoy. Who cares? I mean, really? I mean, because they did that. I mean, did that guy did he have sex in the White House or just take a picture of his penis? I don't get that.
Well, I'm going to help you with that, Milton. I know you don't get that. That's the problem. You don't get that. It's a very, very elite community, select fraternity. Let's go to the phones. Vic in NoCal, a.k.a. Broadway Vic. Hey, Vic, what's up? How are you?
Brother Rome. I'm Vic in NoCal. That's how I am. Hey, couple quick thoughts on the smack off first, man. I was really impressed with Brad's effort. The most impressive thing about Brad's call was how he just straight up went big game hunting. I mean, it was just so money how he totally crushed the guy who finished 12th and the guy who finished in 10th place. I mean, that's what you call big game hunting, man. That's what it's all about. To be the best, you got to take out the best. I also like Lef and Legimic's call. Dude, you knew Lef was going to come up with something good for the smack off. I mean, after all, he's got that box of gimmicks. You have the box of chaos, Rome. Lef has his box of gimmicks where he hits up all his writing staff and all of his social media contacts, and they all pitch in ideas into the box of gimmicks, and then Lef picks out the ones that he likes best, So things like a tandem phone call with Rogan Loam, calling you from backstage at a Rise Against concert, things like that. I mean, hell, you don't know how shocked I was when you went to Lef and he wasn't calling you from the living room of one Kurt freaking Orban. I totally expected Lef to find a loophole around that no studio crashing rule too, by like having James Kelly stick his head out the window, and then Lef could land his helicopter on the flight deck and make his call from there. I mean, technically, he wouldn't really be in the studio, right? Anyway, let's talk about this helmet thing in the NFL really quick, Ron. I mentioned this 5 years ago in my smack off call from 2013. Have little Alvy look it up. The only guy Roger Goodell should be worrying about as far as how often he leads with his helmet is Antonio Cromartie, okay? I mean, what the hell does Roger Goodell do all year exactly besides ruin the game to earn that $40 million paycheck he gets or whatever he makes? One of my top 5 favorite players of all time is Devin Hester, and thank God Hester was born in like 1980 or whenever, because if he'd been born like a decade later, we never would have heard of him with the way Roger has just totally eliminated the kick return. You suck, Goodell. Dude, Vanna White and Pat Sajak think you've done nothing to earn your millions. Rome, I want to war Ira Craig getting totally ripped with six-packs ab, thanks to following that strict regimen of intermittent fasting. And before I go, you mentioned there was a porn star who went on a date with Jimmy Garoppolo recently, and now she's planning to put out a porno movie called In the End Zone. In the End Zone? Yeah, that's really clever. I mean, what's next? Is she going to go on a date with Sidney Crosby and then put out a porno movie called Going Five-Hole? Give me...
That's not a good call. No.
You don't like that call.
I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
Hey, Vic, were you about to claim your smoker? Let's go to South Dakota. Hopefully this is the guy that earns and rips the smoker. Ryan in South Dakota. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Good, Jim. How are you?
I'm great.
Long-time clone and love the show and all the content.
Thanks so
Amazing
much.
Stuff. I'm sure there's dopes all over the world that have stuff like harnesses and goods like that delivered to their office, but it takes a Zach Smith level degenerate to actually open up the box in the office, don't you think? Aren't those boxes usually, per the television, usually discreetly labeled? So how many office staff do you think decided to decline a ride in the harness with Big Zach before he had his fun and games wrecked by Big Herb when he saw it? Wore the spotted cow. Thanks for the short phone call. Appreciate it. Everything you do, Jimmy.
That's all it took, Ryan. Pick him up, Hawk, and give him his smoker. That's all it took. That was easy enough.